In order to receive compensation after filing a claim, a claimant must first prove the injured person was a recipient of a covered vaccine. Here is a list of the 12 vaccines currently covered by the program. We'll take a more in-depth look at the covered vaccines in another video. So in addition to proving that the injured person received the covered vaccine, the claimant must also prove at least one of the following 3 elements. The first element is the timing of the injury. There are specific injuries listed in the vaccine table depending upon the specific vaccine. And within those specific injuries are timeframes in which the symptoms of the injury first appear. If the symptoms of a particular injury appear within the time frame on the vaccine injury table, there is a presumption that the vaccine caused the injury. For example, looking at the vaccine injury table, if you received the DTAP vaccination and you are alleging you had a shoulder injury related to vaccine administration, also known as a SIRVA, there is a presumption the DTAP vaccine caused the SIRVA injury if you can prove the first symptoms occurred within 48 hours of the vaccination. If the symptoms occurred beyond the 48 hours, that would not necessarily be a complete bar to entitlement, but you would have to provide additional evidence proving the vaccine caused that particular injury. Which brings me to the second factor. When there is no presumption established, you must prove the vaccine caused the injury by a preponderance of the evidence. This factor occurs if and when the injury in question is either not on the vaccine table or the symptoms of the injury appear outside the specified time frame as set forth in the vaccine table. For instance, let's say you received an MMR-type vaccine and you alleged you suffered from encephalitis, which is swelling of the brain, but the symptoms occurred 18 days after you received the vaccination. Looking at the vaccine table, the MMR is a covered vaccine and encephalitis is an injury identified as a covered injury. However, looking at the time frame, the first symptoms should occur within 5 and 15 days of vaccination. In our scenario, the first symptom of encephalitis occurred in 18 days. Does that mean you would not be entitled to compensation? No. But it does mean that additional evidence will need to be presented proving the vaccine was in fact the cause of the encephalitis. Now, let's say the vaccine didn't cause a new injury but made an existing injury worse. That's compensable as well. But you and your attorney will need to prove the covered vaccine caused an existing illness or condition to get worse. The final hurdle to compensation comes from the respondent, otherwise known as the government. They determine whether the injury or death did not result from any other intervening cause. Maybe you suffered a shoulder injury after a vaccination, but the injury was in fact caused by a car accident occurring around the same time as the vaccine. So this video is a brief outline as to the various causation elements that need to be proved in order to state a viable claim and receive compensation. You will of course need to prove that you incurred damages as a result. If you believe you have a claim for a vaccine injury, visit our website at vaxinjurylaw.com. That is vaxinjurylaw.com for more information. And you can talk to a knowledgeable vaccine injury attorney today.